Good morning. Welcome. I'm Dale Miller, President of West Virginia Radio Corporation, and thank you for coming out today. It's been 45 years since our company moved out of downtown Morgantown. The building behind us was built in 1924 and originally was our printing plant for the two newspapers in town, the Morgantown New Dominion and the Morgantown Post. You might remember those, and obviously merged into the Dominion Post. The building was built by Herbert Greer, which is John and David's grandfather, and John Salzin, our architect and building design coordinator on this project. I asked him to take a look at this building about a year ago, and when he came back, he said it's remarkable. The inside of the building, the structure of the building is just excellent. So we have plans to announce today of an expansion of this building, about 45 feet out in the front here, 75 feet wide, brand new entrance to this building. And ultimately, this building will house the headquarters, and there it goes right there, of West Virginia Radio Corporation, Pikewood Creative, which is our high-end video post-production house, and we also have studios in this room for television, for video, for the Hoppy Kirchable Talk Line show, and for Tony Creedy's statewide sports line. So it's really a pleasure to move into downtown Morgantown because that is our home. The radio station was down the street 2 blocks where the sub shop is now. This was the newspaper, and I think, John, the editorial department of the newspaper was down on one of the side streets. The two editorial departments didn't coexist, like most of them don't do now. So it's a pleasure to come back. Glad you're here, and I'll introduce now the chairman of Greer Industries, John Racy.
I'm going to hold my comments for later, but right now I want to introduce the mayor of Morgantown. And one of the reasons that I think a lot of people go, certainly areas that you can find that you can be profitable, is the city council, is certainly the state and local governments. But here in Morgantown, I think we have one of the finest mayors in West Virginia, and it's a big determining factor where we come from. And I want to introduce right now one of the reasons that we're coming to downtown Morgantown is Mayor Jim Minella. And with that, Jim, come on up.
Thanks, John. I think this is great that this is happening here in downtown Morgantown. This is, as far as I can remember, this is the biggest thing that's happened that I don't know since when. But it's great to have them locating in the downtown. I know that I grew up on South High Street, and John and David, and I can't leave out Richard, the older brother. We all kind of grew up together over in that area. We grew up in the downtown area, so actually this was kind of like our playground here in the downtown area. And it's great to see the Racy's wanting to reinvest back into the heart of our downtown in the old Dominion Post building here. And I think that this is a great boost for Main Street. Main Street Morgantown is something that we need, and hopefully this venture will be like kind of a domino type of effect, and hopefully we'll be able to get more businesses located here in the heart of downtown or actually anywhere within the city limits so we can collect on the B&O tax, which we desperately need. And again, Richard, John, Dave, thanks a lot. We really appreciate this. And now I'd like to introduce Main Street Morgantown Executive Director Terry Cutright. Main Street is our economic engine. It's part of the city. It is the city, and it's funded through the city plus various other organizations. And I'd like to introduce Terry Cutright.
Thank you. Not to be outdone by Jim, but I actually grew up in First Ward, just a little bit further out the street, and so therefore I guess the Racy's and the Minellas were also neighbors of ours. Almost a year ago, there was another project going on Spruce Street. It was a public sector project. It was the Morgantown Marketplace. I think everybody is aware of it. So we're half a block up. And with much pride, personal and also professional, that was a joint project between the City of Morgantown and Main Street Morgantown and about 100 other partners in that project. Downtown revitalization is a blend of public and private reinvestment. Today, we have that private sector reinvestment occurring on Spruce Street. The reinvestment in this building and this lot continues to enhance our downtown. As the downtown professional, the most exciting thing about this project, besides the financial investment, is the aspect from the employees that will be working out of this building. I've heard numbers of 30 to 35 different employees, but then I've also heard numbers of there'll be approximately 200 people throughout the year that visit this building. Don Remkema, who is an international downtown consultant, he's the principal of Place Economics. He has also consulted in Morgantown. Years ago, I heard him give the statistic that people that work in a downtown spend 7 times more than people that live in the downtown. Therefore, not only the investment in this building and this lot, but it will be an investment and economic impact for all of our businesses in the downtown. We very much want to thank the Racy family for this project today. Thank you.
Dale, I didn't know if we got any TIF money for this. Did we get any TIF? No TIF money here. Okay. Now, Dale commented, when I was a little boy, standing right in back of you, that was the original Greer building, was that parking lot. And I remember David and I would come in, we'd see my grandmother and my father, Mr. Lindsley. And that was sort of the mecca. And right down on the corner, Dave Schaefer had the accounting department. As you can remember, we had an office right at the corner of Spruce Street. The Old Dominion News Building was right across from Walter's Newsstand, and WAJR, there wasn't any WVAQ, was all the way up at the end of Spruce Street. So the nucleus of all of our news and all of our businesses were downtown Morgantown. And when I look today, there's a lot of reasons that we're moving back to downtown Morgantown, and I've looked at other properties in downtown Morgantown, and we're not going to even say this is our last investment. But the most important thing is that we feel that we have a strong commitment to West Virginia, a very strong commitment to Morgantown, and for a good future, and that future provides the kind of jobs that this community needs. It also provides the kind of tax base that this community needs. It's working people, working businesses pay taxes. That's the way it should be. We don't need to tax ourselves into prosperity, because that just doesn't work. And with that, that's my last campaign speech of the morning. I'm going to turn the rest of it over to my brother David as a co-conspirator in this operation, and without David's help, none of this could come about. And so with that, Dave Racy.
Well, I just wanted to say, I had sort of I thought my hardest job on this whole thing, and that was to kick the Boys and Girls Club out of here, and it was the thing that I didn't really want to do. I'm very proud of the building. I mean, it's going to take some work to make it running and everything else, but I know Dale and John, you guys are going to get that all done. But, you know, we had the Boys and Girls Club here for quite some time. The good they did in this city and through Denny Paluga, I think was great, and we were very proud to have them as a tenant, because they contributed also a lot to this community, maybe not in tax base or anything else, but they certainly contributed with the helping of our youth growing up. So I'm glad they found a nicer home. They're going to be, I guess, at Woodburn School, which is going to be great. They'll have a lot more room and classroom areas, so things worked out very, very well, I think, for everybody concerned. I'm very happy for it. Thank you.
Again, I want to thank you for all coming out, and to give you a little timeline here, this project will take about 7 months. We'll have about 6 or 7 weeks of demolition, and then another 6.5 months of construction. So we hope to be in this building by early 2014. And that concludes our presentation today, but if any reporters have any questions, everyone up here can answer them. So thank you very much.